Hello, welcome to another video, and today I've got two new mountain bikes. I got these for free off Facebook Marketplace, so let's have a look. Okay, so first of all we have this very nice red and silver bike. I think it says Barracuda on the side, but that's all a bit scratched off. So the thing that really amazes me with this bike is that it's got both front and rear suspension, but I think the front suspension is stiff and won't move very nicely. However, the rear suspension was very nice. The gear shifters, they're your sort of standard shifters, twist it forwards and backwards, and that's going for the front and the back. And the brakes are fairly standard as well, very normal. But this is where the problems begin. The chain is caked in rust all around here. That's all rust, so I think we're gonna have to fix that one. And also we seem to have a lot of leaves and things in the various gubbins on the bike. Okay, I've got the bike on the frame, so now we can pay attention to this chain. So I'll get some close-ups and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is just spray the gears with some WD-40, and immediately that's getting to work. So let's just spin that round a couple of times. And you can hear even now the chain is rubbing on this piece here, so that is not going to be very good. But if we keep spraying it with WD-40, we should get a nice shiny gear. And yep, that's working nicely. Just stop that. Yeah, so immediately that's got rid of a lot of the rust. I mean, there's still a bit down here, but now we can turn our attention to the front. And it wants to shift, which is really annoying, because I have not ridden this yet. So let's just do the same with the WD-40 on these gears and get that spinning around. So I think I'm going to have to have a look at the gear shifting and the way that it shifts, because that is rubbing on the chain up here, there. So I'll have to look at that. But now we can turn our attention to the brakes. Okay, let's turn our attention to these. The brakes. I'll come around this side. So these brakes are covered in just clumps of mud. So they may not function very nicely because it's all covered massive, great clumps of mud. It's like icebergs, but made of mud. That was stuck in there. So that may not help the function of the brakes. Well, it won't. So at least we know that this bike is used off-road. Like even on this side, there's huge big just icebergs of mud. I think that's the only way to describe it. Icebergs. Because that bit is totally wedged in there. There. Let's try and get that out. Bosh. There. Look. I mean, now the brakes are relatively clean. I mean, they're not clean, but they're not considered disgustingly dirty now. At least not by me, anyway. So let's have a look at the back. These brakes look a lot nicer. They're still quite dirty and they appear to be seized on. So that's not brilliant. But at least these haven't got big clumps of mud on them. So let's just see how the brakes work. If the brakes work on the front. Yeah, I mean there's a very soft feel on the front brake, so I can change that so it's a bit more resistance. On the back, you can just set that spinning. I mean that's already slowing down from the brakes being right on the rim of the wheel. So that should not suddenly stop. Ready? Okay, so the gears have been cleaned, the brakes have been declogged. So now we just need to sort out the shifting and have a look at that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the mud on these gears first of all and have a look and see if it actually shifts. So let's have a look. Okay, so currently we are in third on the front and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th on the back. So we're in top gear right now. So let's pedal and see what it does. So I think we'll just have a look first of all if there's any grass and mud and general stuff that will block the gears from turning properly in here. So let's just clear that out and now that should be running nicely. Click the chain back in. Okay, so let's start pedaling, and I'm going to start shifting on the back first of all. So let's go into 6. It's clicking a bit, but it's still going. 4, 5th. That has eventually gone. 4th, no problem. 3rd, no problem. 2nd, no problem. 3rd, no problem. Now let's have a look at the gears on the front. So this isn't shifting, there's no tension in this cable. So I'm thinking that, yeah, this is all clogged up and jammed. So if we take a look at that first of all. There we are. Now that's shifted down into 1st. So that's nicely going round. That should be 2nd, and it's just staying in 1st and rattling a bit. So there, that's 2nd now, and that is 3rd. But now the whole thing is just clicking at me. So I don't know if, yeah, the chain is sitting properly. So I'm thinking it would be to do with the actual shifting mechanism, because that is very, very stiff. So I'll take it apart and have a look at that. Okay, so I've had a rethink. I'm just going to ride it through just to get the chain back to what it was, so it will clear out most of the rust, because the chain is still rusty. So I'll give it another coat of WD-40, and we'll have a look from there, because there's still a lot of grass and mud and other things on the bike. So I believe we should just head out and see what this can do. I won't be taking it anywhere muddy just now, because I want to keep it reasonably maintainable, because this is still a work in progress. But I'll head out and I'll see you there. Okay, I'm back from my quick ride. It's literally 2 laps of a little bit of land over there. So the front gears appear to be shifting okay now, and the back has no problem at all. So I think that's going to be it for this bike.